SFL. Wow, kind of already butchering this to start off with. The MSFL draft. Let's just make it very easy. The Redskins kick it off with Rashawn McClain. Really no surprise there, being the best corner on the board with some freakish athletic talent. We got Houston on deck. Uh, Relatively new owner to the league, not quite sure what he's going to do, and he's pulling middle linebacker Daryl Weish. Definitely had some good news on him in the earlier year, coming from being a boxer, now a football player, so always a good thing. And these guys are giving us no time. Lawton comes
49ers
up.
went
Yep.
DC for 49ers.
Looks like a big defensive tackle there for the 49ers. One of the top prospects. Defensive tackles have a bunch of good players, and man, they're just flying now. And
Number one pick, McCann's stats look nice. 96 speed. He'll be able to cover DD one-on-one in that division. That's a plus for him.
that is definitely a very good corner to have. Granted, he's 24, but for our last year, that really doesn't matter at this point.
Yep. Number 2 pick looks great as well. Great user linebacker there. Good speed, great hit power.
Yes, he is. And a superstar as well, one of those convert players that definitely help you out. So we don't have anything yet from San Fran. There's Minnesota's pick coming in. That's a good wide receiver that you can build around. A lot of speed with some good acceleration. So this was going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They passed out of it in favor of moving back, getting some players, and Baltimore's going to go ahead and take Landry. He's got a bunch of picks here in the first round. Let's see what he is able to do with it. As the players come in, we'll definitely update everybody here for you. We got the San Diego Chargers taking one of the top quarterbacks for an auto team. So anybody needing a quarterback in this year, that's an unfortunate thing to see him come off the board there.
Yep.
Looks like we got a couple teams here in succession that'll all be pretty active, so we should get some good players popping up here.
Yep. For the first time, somebody's unsure of who they're going to select.
Yeah, we actually get a chance to kind of catch up on everything here for a second. So everything kind of went off fast and quick. Seattle took Lowe, another great prospect in the defensive back category, with some good speed and a crazy vertical, one of the best in the class. So should be a great overall corner for them, and let's see what he will be able to do to help Seattle out in a wide open AFC. Sorry.
Got some stats from the number 3 pick, Derek Walton for the 49ers. Pretty strong, block shed okay. I think he'll be a good defensive tackle for them this year.
Yeah, Lawton's one of 4 highly rated defensive tackles, so we should see a bunch of them flying off the board here. Looks like the stats came in for Lowe. Good speed with great coverage abilities and good acceleration. Will do very well in that division. Really no burners in the NFC over there other than Dede. So should be able to hang with pretty much everybody that you have. So good pick for Seattle at number 6. Nothing yet on the linebacker from Baltimore, but he normally posts straight to Twitter, making our lives a little more difficult. And sure enough, there he is. Huge speed player, 88 to start off with. So a huge user linebacker to get off in the first round for them. With good block shed, needs some work on tackling, but superstar development, he'll move up very quickly. That's what you get when you get a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle now going to Oakland after they ran out of time. one of the better ones again in the class, so they're quickly falling off the board for anybody looking for a big fella to plug the middle. Rashawn Cameron goes, good block shed, good pursuit, and one of the fastest ones in the group. Was a good first step, decent strength there as well, should be a solid overall pick. If only this league we're going to be going after this year, that Landry pick would be phenomenal. 21 years old with 88 speed. That is just a crazy, crazy linebacker to have.
There's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Definitely Rookie of the Year. He'll be in the running for Player of the Year.
I would agree. Normally Ravens aren't one to use her a linebacker, but with an 88 speed guy, you might have to think about changing that up a little bit and using that linebacker and running the field. Brugman as well, a quarterback for the Chargers, could have been a franchise quarterback for somebody. 21 years old with a cannon for an arm, but that's what happens when you get 1 year left before Madden 18 comes out. Everybody's pretty set on quarterback. Probably won't see too many people go that direction.
Yep.
Let's go to Adam now, who's got more on the Patriots' last pick.
The title of workout warrior gets thrown around.
Belcher going to the Patriots. One of the good middle linebackers that you have out there. Not really the fastest guy out there and had a lot of combine issues, as you can hear Adam Schefter talking about in the background.
Another linebacker come off the board, goes to the Titans.
This is the kind of linebacker defensive coordinators drool over.
Right outside linebacker going to the Titans. They were asking for a linebacker in free agency or for a trade. They're going to pick one up in the draft. Good speed, good first step. Should be a very good player for them. Hey, the Bengals actually showed up for a pick this year. Everybody should congratulate the Cincinnati Bengals for waking up on time this year. Congratulations to him. He's going to take a corner. Something to help out their defense with a pretty loaded division out there. Mealy, a good pick, projected to go in the first round, just a little bit on the slower side, but should be able to fit in well out there. And Cleveland, no surprise, going with a safety. We all know the Browns and their coach tend to love a good free safety. Presley out of Army dominated the combine and dominated the All-Star MVP game. Probably looking at a pure superstar right there. And the image is in. He is that 90 speed, 90 acceleration. Has what looks like 81 man coverage already. Nope, sorry. That's Cincinnati's guy.
That's the Bengals pick. That's a great pick for a draft that he woke up for this year.
Yeah, that is a good pick by the Bengals. He's also got some superstar development there with him, so should be a good overall pick for them. Browns slacking here, not turning in their image yet. Ravens are going with tight end Max Guerrero. Best one in the class, and superstar players flying off the board left and right through the first 14 picks. He's got good catching, got great acceleration, good catching traffic. He should definitely start for them day one. Give them a little presence out over the middle of the field to really compete within that division with Cincinnati. Pittsburgh was also out there last year, had a great start and slowed down a little bit. And then obviously Cleveland, back-to-back AFC titles. There's the image for Cleveland. Not so hot.
Yeah,
but
not so great.
Yep,
Superstar development, but not so great.
Yep, and
Be tough leaving him out there to cover someone with low play recognition, low zone, low man. Hit power is not great either.
Yeah, nothing about him.
Probably won't see the field.
I'm sure he'll see the field, as their coach is saying he's perfect. So his definition of perfect and mine might be a little different, but we'll see how he's able to utilize him. I imagine a lot of training is going to be dumped into Corwin Presley.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
I would struggle leaving him out there to cover someone.
The Jets
Coach
taking
says he'll be
another.
top 5 defensive rookie of the year, though. So.
I'm sure he will. He will be a threat out there for Cleveland. But the real question is, can Cleveland get over the AFC title game hump? It's 2 straight years they failed. And I know he's listening to the stream right now as he's poked it out in the chat, so just going to remind him, 2 straight years.
Got to get past the Colts first.
Yes, he does.
Seems to be a tough task for anyone in here, so.
So that's 3 of the 4 big touted defensive tackles. And I think that one might be the 4th. There it is. The 4 big boys to anchor somebody's defensive line are gone within the first 16 picks.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Dolphins wasting no time, taking a middle linebacker.
First offensive lineman goes off the board to the Jaguars.
Pretty deep class this year for offensive linemen. Should be a lot of teams needing some help there, be able to pick somebody up. Jags are one of the teams that we won't see this year, so potentially one of the best offensive linemen in terms of run blocking with some great strength will be going by the wayside. And
Rams on the clock.
He was rushing home to make this pick, so updating everybody on the Dolphins pick, they went with O.C. Riley, a middle linebacker, one of the best all-around guys out there in this year's draft with some great tackling, hit power, and block shed. Got some speed on him with some good acceleration. Should be a fantastic player for Miami. Now that Buffalo's gone, should be a great overall option for them to hop out there.
Rams go for a left end to anchor that side of the defensive line.
The age of Robert Quinn ended this year, so they definitely needed somebody. And McPhee broke records last year with his sack total, so he should be a good fit for them. And the Browns, up again. Seems like they get to pick every few minutes, them and Baltimore. Yeah. Let's see if where Cleveland's gonna go. Your guess would be as good as mine on this one. There's the image in for the Dolphins. Solid overall linebacker as you would expect. Good tackle, good speed. Can work great as a user linebacker or even an AI linebacker with everything that you need to get himself started.
Yeah, he looks great.
Raven says he was
Cleveland is gonna go.
Yeah, Raven said he was the best linebacker on his board, but took a linebacker before O.C. Riley. I'm not quite sure that makes total sense, but maybe somebody whispered to him at the last second to take Landry. All right, Cleveland, you're here. We know you're here.
Running low on time.
Wouldn't
he'll make a decision.
There it is. He's going with a corner. Not who I would have expected. Taking Norris, good speed, just an okay vertical, okay first step. Cleveland apparently sees a need for defensive backs, so they're going to go ahead and maybe reach a little bit and take Norris. Was projected to be a mid-first round pick, so about his spot. Another auto team is going to take Donald June, one of the other studs there on the defensive line, filling in on the right side. Good overall first step, one of the faster defensive ends that are out there with some good strength there as well, so he can hold up. Good 4-3 rusher off the board. The image for DeAndre Norris is in. 86 zone, 22 speed, or 22. That would be really good, right? That would be awful. 92 speed, actually, with an 88 acceleration, so he should be just fine to hold his own out there. 92 press as well, so should be able to hold his own. 6'1", can help defend some players that are out there. Not sure why it said that was. Man, my group me. And getting made fun of in the chat. That's about right when you say, he would have 22 speed. What else would you expect? Now, Packers is one of your guys, right? Where is he at?
I don't know. I actually haven't talked to him today. Looks like he's gonna miss the draft.
For somebody with a wide open division, having a good first round pick like that could be a miss if the computer goes ahead and whiffs on him.
Yeah, hopefully they'll take him a kicker.
You know what? That would be great. I'd be okay with that. They're gonna take.
No, they go wide receiver.
They're gonna go ahead and take Kirkland, one of the faster wide receivers in this class, 5'10", 4'4". Good overall prospect in terms of catching the ball. So if Green Bay needed a wide receiver, that's a perfect person to fit in their lineup.
Cardinals are off the clock now. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
Cardinals are taking Lions. One of the best running backs, if not the best prospect in this draft. The man is a monster. Has great juke, great ball carrier vision, great carry, decent speed with an amazing first step, and a ton of strength to go along with it. Was consistently great throughout the season, as you can hear from Adam Schefter. Just a top-notch player. One of the coaches is asking if the Falcons are on the broadcast, and yes, that is the
Yes.
Falcons coach that you hear on the other end. We haven't heard from Tampa Bay. We were expecting a great LeVar Ball kind of moment between these two hopping onto the conversation together, but he appears to be MIA, as would be expected with Tampa Bay. Nothing surprises us with that. So we got
a
some.
little scared of where the conversation might go.
Yeah, he fell in some hard times after that Super Bowl. So we got some images coming in. Huber for Tennessee, pretty good speed linebacker, should be a good user for him. Leon's coming in at an 81 overall, probably going to be one of the best players off the board. Number 3 true talent. 89 speed, 91 juke, 88 ball carrier vision. He's got a little bit of everything that you need. Khalid McPhee from the Rams coming in, good speed, good tackle, good strength for a good 4-3 lineman out there to help out St. Louis. So tell us about Plummer now that Atlanta has taken Plummer. What led you to Plummer?
I was just taking a guess on the offensive lineman. All 80s, run block, pass block, impact blocking all 80. Awareness is horrible. He'll probably start on my team. You guys all know my offensive line issues from last year. I believe we led the MSFL in sacks allowed.
It's not a good stat to lead right there.
Oh no. we were averaging somewhere around 9 a game, so hopefully he'll be able to come in there and help us out some.
So Bills on auto. The Eagles are going to go ahead and take Bobo. It's kind of a Bobo pick, don't you think? That is a running back. Sorry for the terrible pun. I'm sure everybody in the chat that's listening to this is going to absolutely love that one. That might be a little bit of a reach. He wasn't selected to go until the 3rd round, but it's a pure speed pick. He's one of the fastest running backs in the game with a good juke and good elusiveness. But still, for the 1st round, pretty Bobo.
Yeah.
Chiefs took Tanner, good linebacker there, something to add into their core. Good speed, good tackle. Just going to be a good 4-3 linebacker or a 3-4 as he's got some pass rushing skills, whatever they want him to do. He can play either direction. Ravens up with yet another pick in the 1st round, his 3rd. So sold a lot of his old veteran talent to get into this draft. Has hit with Max Guerrero, has hit with Landry. Wanted to get 2 out of 3. Let's see if he can go 3 for 3.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Going with Asper, a left tackle. Plenty of offensive linemen to look for in this draft, and he's one of them. And we're getting back to that. Let's take everybody very quickly. Cowboys are going to take a left outside linebacker there in Kerman. Also one of the good linebackers that you have out there. Good block shed, good pursuit, good hit power. Should be a good overall fit for Dallas, and apparently Washington's not happy with that one. So nice little dig there at your division rival as well.
Yep.
So Eagles on the clock, followed by your 2 Super Bowl contenders there in Carolina and Indianapolis. We'll see where Philly goes, and then we'll move on to Carolina. I was kind of hoping we could get Lynn Shirley in here for this, but apparently he falls.
He declined the request.
Man, just pulling a Cam Newton. It's always something out of those Carolina guys. Whenever they lose a Super Bowl, they can't speak to the media. So yes, this is Ace from the Colts calling you out, Lynn Shirley. Just letting you know you should be here for this. I'm sure we'll see all of that on Twitter later.
Oh yeah. He'll love talking when nobody's gonna be able to talk back.
All right, see, now everybody flies off with picks. We got time to kill with Philly, and we can't really get caught up. Everybody needs to make up their mind. Take about 30 seconds, let us talk about these picks, and then make your next one. Especially for me, because I have no idea who the hell I'm going to draft right now. I haven't been able to keep up with my draft board, so this next pick here could be completely interesting.
Cameron looks pretty nice for the Cowboys.
The Panthers
Gonna have
are
good
now on the
speed.
clock.
Can be used as a user guy. Block shed high, hit power good. So I think he'd be a good pick for the Cowboys. I can see why the Redskins wanted him so bad. Now we got the Panthers on the clock. Wonder which way they'll go this year.
You would almost have to think they gotta go with a wide receiver. They need some sort of playmaker on the outside to help them out, or quarterback. There's still one good quarterback sitting out there. Cam Newton isn't getting any younger. Hosey Roth is sitting out there. Could be a good gunslinger for him. They got some good options out there. And yeah, I have no idea as to what we're going to do with ours.
Just got word from the Bucks. He said he'd be on in about 15 minutes to come and talk to us.
Oh, great. So typically right when we'd be wrapping this up right around the end of the first round, Tampa Bay will go ahead and decide to jump in fashionably late as always. So Carolina is going to take Kroom, and that'll put Indianapolis on the clock. And I can speak for Indianapolis and say we have no idea what we're doing right now. We should probably have everything in order instead of waiting until the last minute to put everything together and then hop into this. So anybody now watching my stream, feel free to go ahead and jump in, steal some of my scouting. It's probably not very good. Hopefully nobody wants anybody I've looked at. Should have maybe paused it for this. You know what? I'll be that guy. I'm going to go ahead. I'll be a reacher.
The Redskins are now on the
And
clock.
boy, anybody sitting on the stream, that worked out pretty well for me. Pulling in Donovan Sands, 76 overall, good speed at 90 for a 6'6 guy with a great jump and great spectacular catch. So a little bit slow on the acceleration side, but you know what? He's a superstar. We've had good luck reaching for players, as Miami can attest to. Patrick Rowe, Rookie of the Year. Just letting him know, Miami, Patrick Rowe, Rookie of the Year. So that worked out. We needed one more wide receiver to fill in. We had a bunch of injuries last year, kind of hurt us down the stretch. Everybody was able to come back healthy for the playoffs, so it ended up working out. Now we got some depth. Should be good to go as we move into the second round.
That wide receiver to go along with the rest of the guys you have is going to make for a dangerous 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah, we'll have 3 guys over 6 feet, and then good old Rump, who when healthy tore up the league last year, including in the red zone for only being a little guy like he is. So should be a bunch of weapons out there to contend with everybody's defense in the AFC that they bring it to play every week. I'm getting yelled at in the chat by Dallas. Apparently he wanted that wide receiver. Dallas, you can yell at everybody else. There were other wide receivers I wanted. They all went a lot earlier than I expected. So, sorry, bud. Good job by Washington. They needed some offensive weapons, and they're going to get one with Levon Leggett. Slow beyond belief, but a good overall running back at 81 overall.
And number 2 true talent in the draft, so
can't go wrong with that.
Pick there at number 33.
Yep, and the number 3 true talent was another running back as well. Was what was his? I'm gonna have to go back and look. It wasn't Bobo. Sorry, Philly, that was not it. But it was Lyons, who went 23rd to the Cardinals. So some good running backs in this draft. And another good one there goes to Minnesota, Downing. So might even be another true talent high-end player right there to Minnesota. And Detroit going with an offensive lineman. But the bigger note,
San
you got it.
Went with the quarterback there.
Yep, the man who is going to destroy the world as either the San Fran 49ers or whoever he ends up with next year. The Reed Master himself is going to take Harvey Roth, the number 2 quarterback in this draft. And he's already proclaiming he won the draft. We should not be surprised by that. Seattle on the clock, following up their pick from Rowe. Whenever you hear from Tampa Bay, just go ahead and bring them on in. We'll let you guys go WWE in this if you want to. We'll give you some 2 mics. I'll step back out of the way, and we'll let the NFC South sort out their differences in here.
Sounds great.
If only Lynn Shirley would show, and the Saints. Saints is always kind of just meh. You know, normal 8-8 kind of guy, so it doesn't surprise me he didn't want to get involved in this. Garvin.
8-8's a whole lot better than 2-14.
2-14, that is a little rough. 2-14 is nothing to be proud of. Oh, hey, Tampa Bay is on the clock. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to have to sit here now for 1:40, kill some time. You know, just talk about how the weather is, because Tampa Bay, never showing.
No, he won't be here. Computer's going to make this pick for him.
Miami appears to be a little upset that all the running backs are off the board. He ran into that problem last year and then proceeded to select, 6 running backs, I believe it was, and I don't think any of them ended up on his roster after the draft. So good job, Miami, for not taking one again this year. Downing, who went to the Vikings, comes in very highly rated as well. Good speed, good overall performance. Eagles are saying Bobo is better.
No. He might be faster, but I'm not going to go with better.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. He may have some speed, but I don't think he's got anything in the open field that would worry me.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
Hey, it looks like the Bucs got a pick in. Not sure if it was via computer or not. I was too busy checking the chat. But they're going with a center out there. Not one of the ones I really had up on my list. So he's pulling a typical Tampa Bay and going well off the reservation for his pick. As people joked about earlier, he took a janitor in last year's draft. So that's a good pick by Tampa Bay. Malist. I was projected to be a second-round pick. Could be okay. Decent blocker, good impact blocking. Just a little on the weak side for an offensive lineman.
His vertical and broad jump numbers were among the highest of any position.
Raiders here going with an interesting pick. He's got all the tangibles, not necessarily the skills. So I'll be interested to see if we can get a picture of what Oakland just got with Yeldon right there. He's got decent skills across the board, great measurables.
His pro day was a magnification of his bigger problem
And
He didn't
here we
suffer
go.
any
Wide
top
receivers
tier
flying
passing
off the
drills,
board
but
now.
he had
We
several
got
passes
Wilcox
that
and
were hauled
McGriff
in
coming off the
very
board.
awkwardly. He bobbled a few of them several times before he was
Michigan
able to
here with
completely
Schefter in the
secure the
background.
ball. With how tight defenders cover
Wilcox,
receivers in the
sort
NFL,
your words
you
out,
only need to
Biff.
catch the ball and bring it to his
Had some
body
issues catching the ball,
before
but
the
has
ball goes
relatively
straight.
good
The
hands.
receivers
Should be a
coach
good
needs to
overall
work on
wide
him,
receiver.
catching
Good
balls away
speed
from
as
his
well.
body with confidence.
Same thing with McGriff. He's going to be the fastest player in this wide receiver core. Pulled in at a 4.26 40 with some decent acceleration as well. Small little guy. Looks like Tennessee is trying to copy what Indianapolis does. Why am I not surprised? Can't say I am in the least. Seattle kind of reached there on a running back. And Diamond Overstreet just came in from the Lions, one of the first players taken off the board, 6'4" with 91 speed and 90 jumping. Should be a good threat for Detroit if they want to get back into it. Lions followed it up with an offensive lineman, 75. Good overall stats. Should be a pretty good star for them to come right into that offensive line.
Here we got Chicago on the board for the first time tonight, right?
There we go. Yeah, they're not a fan of drafting. They did the same thing last year, dropped back out of the first round. Probably the smart thing to do is he hosted the draft party last year. Didn't have to fret about that. Here on the pick after making a huge deal with Philadelphia. Brought in 3 impact players for his first round pick.
Are now on the clock.
And back-to-back offensive linemen going here. Birch going to the Cleveland Browns. They'll actually have an offensive lineman with some strength this year. Maybe those 5 won't get run over in a playoff game anymore. Maybe they'll actually hold up better than paper mache, unlike last year.
Browns guard looks pretty great.
The Steelers are
Pretty
now on
pretty
the
decent
clock.
pass blocking, strength high, quick development. Should start and make an impact for them day one.
And we got a run here on offensive linemen. We got 3 going with Kayer to the Bears, Connell to the Jets, and we had Flynn, the defensive tackle, go in between to the New York Giants. Giants has been pretty quiet since he left the AFC. Was a pretty big loudmouth in the AFC, if I do say so myself, out of one of my division mates. It's been pretty quiet out there in the NFC, trying to fly under the radar. We got Pittsburgh on the clock, followed by Miami and Jacksonville. So while we have somebody from the NFC who's being said they can barely hear you, by the way, how you feeling about the NFC this year? You had a great chance year one, great season. 12 wins, 12-4 your first year,
That's right.
and fell back to 10-6 last year.
10-6. That's right.
So how you feeling this year? Last season, everything's on the table. Next year doesn't matter. What's gonna happen?
I think it's probably going to still be the Panthers at the top. He's a good user, hard to beat. Cowboys is going to be right there. This year's going to be all or nothing for them. They're drafting well. Then you're looking, teams 3 and 4. Probably myself. I think the Saints are going to make a good run this year. Possibly the Rams should win their division.
Well, let's be
NFC North.
real. The Rams winning the division. Come on now, they haven't been able to win anything in ages.
Well, if he's playing, he should be able to take the Cardinals. To be down to them too, I believe.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
So, and then coming out of the North, of course, it's going to be either Packers or Bears. I don't think the Lions is gonna. I don't think he's going to be there this year. Should be good come playoff
The
time.
Saints
We're
are now on
Falcons
the clock.
hoping we can make a little run. But as long as we make the playoffs and finish better than the Bucks, we'll be happy.
That's I would say a lofty goal, but based upon last year, you might be able to do that one in your sleep. So
It's possible.
that's possible. We'll see how Tampa Bay bounces back, losing a Super Bowl game and then has to hit the bottle. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Carolina this
The
year.
Cardinals are now on the
Yeah, you might have to keep him on the straight and narrow over there.
I think he's got it. Looking at the Bucks, I think he'll be fourth in the NFC South again this year.
Ooh,
I
just calling the man out. I like it.
I don't think he has it. I think he's lost his touch. He got that fast receiver. That's all he's worried about, is throwing it over the top. And I mean, it's easy to stop when that's the only threat you got. So, like I said, I think he's going to be somewhere around 5 wins and fourth in the NFC South.
Well, that sounds like the gauntlet has been thrown down for Tampa Bay. If he ever decides to show up for his interview, I'm going to give him till the end of the second round, because after we kind of move into the third round, we can already see some people checking out, getting their top talent players in, and then heading out for the night. We won't have much of a reason to continue this broadcast. We'll literally just be speaking to speak. So we're winding up here. We're on pick 24, 8 more to go. Tampa Bay, you're on the clock. Don't be the laughingstock of the MSFL again. Year 2, you'll be the laughingstock. So we did have a bunch of picks fly off the board there. We got Gilman, a defensive lineman, going to Pittsburgh. Miami picking up a wide receiver. Quick run on some offensive linemen. Again, very deep draft for offensive line. Saints and Broncos picking up some defensive ends. There really weren't a lot of defensive ends out there this year. So for the Saints to get into the playoffs, they got Donald Hines, but after trading away TJ Watt, they haven't found much. Maybe man can be that answer. Packers going defense as well with Marion, and wide receivers going with Mayer, another wide receiver on the outside. Paul Prohl here showed up at the end of the season as an offensive lineman, so a very interesting pick there by Kansas City. Would love to see how he ends up turning out. Was kind of off the boards all year and then shows up at the very end. So not a lot of information there on Paul Prohl. And our boy Atlanta here is up with his pick.
Raising some serious questions about leg strength. He's been known as a bit of a power lifter with exceptional upper body strength, leading some strength coaches to openly question.
I don't know where I'm going to go right now.
Take all the time you need, because trust me, I'm right there with you. I have no idea where I'm going to be going as well.
Until about a year from now, after he's been through the rigors of an
that was a pretty bad reach there. Went for a left end. Somebody tried to anchor the left side of my defensive line, and he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, he was, he dropped. There was some news articles out there about his intelligence. He might have stumbled through his combine answers. So take it he's not turning out too well for you.
No, he did not look good at all.
He's got some good skills to him with some power moves, good pursuit. So, I mean, he might have the raw talent there. You might be able to get him out on the field.
Let's see. We go 86 power moves, 83 speed. I mean, with a slow development as well, so he's not going to improve much. Somebody might could get out there, though.
83 speed, put him out there on the edge.
Yeah, 6'6", 288, he ought to at least be able to clog up a hole. So
there you go. For a second round, slow development really doesn't matter that much. Again, season comes to an end after this one. We move into season 20 for Madden 19. So kind of working out all the kinks with the broadcast here. Hopefully we'll have some great new features and information out for Madden 18. I think I might have just said Madden 19. I am butchering this broadcast. This is why we practice. Because we don't want to practice like we play. Minnesota just showed their last pick. Good corner, 90 speed, decent acceleration, great zone coverage. Not exactly who you want to put on an island out there, but he should do just well.
Are now on the clock.
Eagles went wide receiver. No surprise there.
They need somebody to help take some of the pressure off Dede.
Yep. Got to have another threat because everybody just shuts him down.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
Well, we just wait until Dede gets himself shut down. That's really the key to the Eagles. Just go ahead and leave Dede wide open all game and then watch the Eagles owner get suspended. That tends to be the best way to play Philadelphia, at least in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, just take that one loss to watch them disappear for 4 games. Kind of like Tennessee. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call you out again. Breaking rules to win a
Oh,
game. You
some
deserve
more division rivals in here.
you deserve the 14-game suspension you got. Congratulations, 2 thumbs up. Baltimore back on the clock with 2 more picks here to end out the second round. So for the last year, they might be running a all-rookie team out there. So if Baltimore has their way, they should be winning Rookie of the Year somewhere. They're going to go with a center, continue to bolster up that offensive line after they moved off Stanley. And now we get a little bit more division talk between Washington and Philly there. Already talking about shutting down Dede. Paul Prohl, the offensive lineman I mentioned to Kansas City, shows up as a superstar. Good idea to hop on a player who hadn't been on the board all year. Normally a big hit or miss. Either great or terrible. Turned out very well for Kansas City. Somebody to help Gurley out. As kudos to Kansas City. They might have won more games last year than they had in 3 years. So great job to Kansas City out there. Granted, there's really nobody in the West this year. Oakland could apparently walk into the playoffs at 6-10, as the Broncos and the Chargers are taking the season off. Hopefully, with the Chiefs showing up to the draft, they plan on sticking around and at least making it a 2-man race in that division. Cowboys
AFC will be wide open at least for the last couple of playoff spots this year.
Yeah, 2 of the playoff teams from last year have dropped out. One of the other contenders, the Jags, will be sitting out the year for a suspension. So a lot of wide open availability for the playoffs in the AFC. I'm looking at that AFC East. Who's going to take it over between Miami or New York? New York spent a ton of money last year. Now making some good picks this year to try and get back in. And then Cincinnati. You know, if they had Josh Allen on their team, just imagine the things Cincinnati could do. But when you trade away your whole team to get the first overall pick and you fall asleep, that's karma. That's a great way to go.
Is. Makes it even better that the quarterback he would have took ended up in his division.
Yes,
and
it did.
He gets to see him twice a year.
Yes, he does. So Baltimore back on the clock here. We have attempted to reach out to the Bucs one last time. He may be Super Bowl or bust this year. He may be focused, but he is not either one of those.
I can go ahead and tell you can put the money on bust. It's not going to be Super Bowl.
I'm there with you as well. I'm going to go ahead and put it bust. So we're rounding out the last 2 picks here. We appreciate everybody hopping in and tuning into the draft. We had some good feedback. We'll take this. We'll continue to work on it, figure out the best way to do it. Hopefully we'll have some improvement to the draft features for next year, which will allow us to do better with this. Baltimore Ravens there go ahead and make their picks. So I'll take the last pick here, sign off, and appreciate everybody tuning in. Atlanta, you got anything for everybody?
I know. Just good luck this season for everybody that's playing. Hopefully somebody can unseat the Colts from the Super Bowl. And
we don't want that. We don't want that.
We definitely want that. We can't have a three-peat to close out Madden 17.
I definitely think we can, but I enjoy the challenge. I'll put the target on my back. See you guys this season.